He was diagnosed with cancer in December 2020, had his bowel perforate after his first round of chemo in January, and he didn't have insurance at that point. And he had a wound vac over the incision from the surgery. So the first day that we met Theresa was while she was, hand deep in his abdominal cavity, basically. We had to go 3 times a week over to Kline, and Theresa would pop in each time, just to see how the girls were doing, helping with changing the foam and everything out. And at one point she said something to Eric, I think, about, this one's a keeper or something, because I was there with him every time. He was like, yeah, we intend to get married at some point, just we don't have the money.
We were engaged at that time, but with everything going on, didn't really have the means or way to get married at that point. So,
and she said something about, well, what's holding it up? And just, off the cuff, the first thing I thought was, well, we need a copy of his birth certificate for the marriage license. She left the room and came back in and handed me,
it was like $50.
It was like $54 or something, whatever the amount was that I told her to get his birth certificate. And she was like, go ahead and do that. And she said, and we'll figure something out, for your wedding. And then at a later appointment, when I was like, oh, thank you again, we got his birth certificate, everything's fine there. And she was like, so when are you getting married? And we were like, we really don't have the money. He's not working. I'm off work half the time, taking care of him.
Stage 4 cancer. So it was bad.
And she was like, no, we're good. We're going to go ahead and set this up for you. Just let me know the next day you have off work and we'll just get it done. And we kind of were like, okay, kind of in disbelief. Finally, at one point, I was just looking at my schedule for the next month and I was like, babe, I have off the 26th of February. He was like, well, let me call Theresa and see if this, could actually work. 2 or 3 weeks notice. It wasn't, months or anything like that. And we called and she was like, just show up.
Yep.
She said, everything will be taken care of. Just your job is to show up. She asked us how many people we were bringing with. And I think it ended up being 12. Got our hair done and did whatever and just kind of.
I had no hair then.
He still had the wound vac.
Weighed like 160 pounds. I was 220 when this started.
They had cupcakes from Pennsylvania Bakery as our wedding cake. They had sparkling cider.
Which I gotta say, the cupcakes were awesome.
Yeah, they were really, really
They were really good.
They had us come up and cut a cupcake, and feed each other the first piece and all that jazz. And, they had a photographer there that took pictures. They had, the folding tables set up with, they asked my favorite color and I said blue. So they had like blue tablecloths and, like the fairy lights hanging in the back. And they made us this. Yeah, we were very, very grateful, obviously, for everything she had done for us. So we took in
donations,
3 big boxes of the wound vac supplies and his ostomy supplies after he got his ostomy reversed to donate to her, because she said that, she had other people in similar situations with no insurance and that sort of thing, and said that she could parse those things out to people that needed them too.
I was told I was 2 weeks away from death if I didn't get treatment immediately. So I kept saying, I can't imagine going through this alone. Like, anybody that has to go through this alone, my heart goes out to them. Like, that's horrible, because I relied on my wife so much.
Knowing that we were finally getting married after like 3 years together, and that we didn't have to stress, we didn't have to worry about the details or anything. It was purely just a happy moment. It didn't add anything. We literally showed up.
Yeah.
We had no idea what they were doing or what it was going to look like, other than asking my favorite color. She just handled it. 2 months since they told us he was in remission.
Right.
They were on the fence for quite a while.
Those 2 nurses, Theresa and Chris, and pretty much all the staff there has just been great. I've never had a bad experience there.
Clearly they're really skilled, and I was impressed.
Anytime I had a problem, I just called Theresa and she'd make sure it got taken care of, like, no matter what. She was like the glue, that held things together.